Hi beautiful people, how are you doing? So this will be the solution of the science worksheet number 5 talking about non-seed plants and fungi. So mosses, fungi and ferns reproduce by making spores. The main difference between mosses, ferns and fungi is that fungi aren't plants. In this lesson, we classified plants as seed plants and non-seed plants, and we gave examples for each of these two types. Seed plants are flowering plants and conifers. Non-seed plants are mosses and ferns. Mosses are soft plants with no true stems, no true roots, no true leaves. Ferns are plants with the fronds, and on the back side of a frond you can see the spores used by the plant to reproduce. Mushrooms or fungi are found everywhere. We have lots of examples and types of fungi. Some of the fungi are edible. We can consume them normally, and they are used in kitchen receipts. But some others are poisonous. For this reason, when you see a mushroom, don't touch it before you make sure that this is not a poisonous mushroom. A mushroom is made of different parts, and we're going to check them in the questions below. Let me start with question number 1, talking about the death cap. The death cap is a deadly poisonous fungus. This toxic mushroom resembles several edible species. It looks like them, commonly consumed by humans, increasing the risk of accidental poisoning. The transparent spores of this fungus are egg-shaped, indicate how death caps reproduce. Okay, since this is a name, I must write it this way with capital letters. Okay, so the death cap is a mushroom. How do fungi reproduce? How do mushrooms reproduce? They reproduce by making or producing spores. Spores are tiny organisms that help some plants reproduce, or that help some organisms reproduce. Give the names of parts A and B. Different parts of a mushroom are the cap, which is the head, the upper part of the head, the gills, which are the inside of the head of the cap. We have the stipe, which is the stem of the mushroom, and the roots of the mushroom are called mycelial threads. So A is pointing to the gills of this mushroom, while B is pointing to its stipe or stem. So why we shouldn't pick any mushroom, or why we shouldn't pick mushrooms by ourselves, since these mushrooms are poisonous, and especially this one, the death cap, is deadly. So it's so dangerous to pick them by ourselves. So determine, we have to tell why. So let me write right here. Some mushrooms are deadly, poisonous, and they look like some edible mushrooms. Touching them or consuming them can be deadly to humans. So death caps look like edible mushrooms, but they are deadly, they are poisonous. For this reason they are it's dangerous to pick them by ourselves. The blue milk mushroom is a handsome mushroom. It's a classic cap and stab mushroom. This fungus grows in association with a tree partner like pine and oak tree. It's pretty tasty, and it's not the only edible blue mushroom. The blowet is another such mushroom. Let's also annotate this mushroom. How do we call the upper part of a mushroom? This is the cap. Okay? This is the cap of this blue mushroom. What about the inside? The underside of the cap? These are the gills of this mushroom. The stem of the mushroom is called a style. So what do you think? Is the blue milk mushroom an edible mushroom or a poisonous mushroom? What did they say in the text? They said it's pretty tasty and it's not the only edible blue mushroom. This means that it is edible, but we have other edible blue mushrooms. So determine. So we have to tell why. I will say the blue milk mushroom is an edible mushroom. It has a tasty, it is tasty, or it has a tasty flavor. It is tasty, and it's not the only edible blue mushroom. Okay, last question in this worksheet, question number 3, showing figure 1. In this figure, we can see 2 types or 3 plants. Okay, the fern plant, a conifer, and a fruit-bearing plant. Okay, what is an example of seed plants in here? It's the conifer. So let me circle this. Okay. Okay. This is a conifer. How plants reproduce? The conifer reproduces by seeds. Okay. So an example of seed plants is the conifer. What's an example of non-seed plants? Plants that do not reproduce by growing seeds. We have here the fern plant. So fern is an example of plants that don't reproduce by making seeds, but by making spores. Give the names of A and B. So the letter A is pointing to these small circles found in the back side of a frond, the frond of the fern plant. What are these? These are the spores that help the fern plant reproduce. Once a spore found the right place to grow, it will grow into a new fern plant. B is showing the seed, and once the seed is in the soil, in the right conditions, it will grow into a plant. So B is pointing to a seed. This is a seed. Okay, so the fern plant reproduces by making spores. Conifers and flowering plants reproduce by making seeds. And that's it. If you still have any questions about this worksheet, you can send me private messages on my WhatsApp. and I will happy to answer all of the questions. Bye bye.